Start streaming.
So we're live.
So we should be live. Almost ready. Just gotta do a little work here.
Oh, there we go. Now I can find it on YouTube.
Okay, let me just set this over.
Oh, your hair is looking nice and
Ridiculous.
spry today. You do it just for the stream?
You're goddamn right I did. No, I did this for you.
Yeah, right. We all know you care most about looking at the mirror.
I'm just looking for here we go.
What are people talking about in the chat with Dreamcast cables? I assumed everybody knew at this point that they're never coming out because of having to support the other cables.
Let me get the chat up on the other so we got people in here?
Yeah.
All right, we're almost ready. There we go.
So is this stream really a celebration of you now having more followers than Bob?
You know, this stream is really it's really sort of an honoring thing. I think you're right.
Paying homage to the shoulders of giants that you've stood upon before surpassing them.
Oh my lord, we're terrible. Poor Bob. No, this stream is going to be about fun times. We're going to play some video games, and we're going to look at the Retrovision cables. I wish Steve was here to join us because I know he's going to like some of these games, but we're going to look at the rectal cables with the Super SD System 3 and this really noisy TurboGrafx that I've been working on. So I'm just loading some games up. This will be another 20 seconds. In the meantime, Nick, why don't you tell us what you've been doing today?
I have been working on the knowledge base for our website still.
Oh, so basically you've wasted your entire day on nothing valuable.
Yeah, I would say that. The other thing I did, also not valuable, was try to get a GDMU, which was available for about 2 minutes. And if you weren't refreshing every minute, it was gone.
Yeah, did any of our... I'm just curious if any of our chat viewers or chat participants looked at if they have a GDMU or if they picked one up today, because I really wanted one. God damn it.
Yeah, I'd be curious if anyone was able to successfully get one. It's
you know
the way he does it is he doesn't list what time, so you really do have to sit there and refresh. I didn't appreciate this as to how often you would need to refresh, because 3 minutes is crazy quick. I guess they went for sale at 11:45.
Do you think this goes back? Do you remember about a year ago? It was maybe more than a year ago, or it was a year ago when we had, and one of our earlier episodes, Bob was bitching about people who could not maintain a plentiful amount of stock to even somewhat satisfy demand. Do you find this situation to be... Are you as irritated as Bob was when he initially had that sort of conversation with us today? Like, are you like that guy now? Like, God damn it, get it together. I want one.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't really care. If I was that desperate, I would just pay the whatever it is. I think they go for like $400 or $500 on eBay, which is crazy. I don't want it that bad. But yeah, I mean, you'll see people in like the comment section of his posts really giving him a hard time. Like, why don't you make more of these? Why don't you figure out a way to do X, Y, and Z? And he's pretty adamant against doing that. Like, it seems like he's carefully thought through how he wants to handle it, and he just doesn't have interest in it, and that's fine with me. I'm just probably going to end up getting the competing product instead.
So what is the competing product?
Some guy in Russia, he sells something called the USB...
Oh, are you talking about Crix?
No, USB GD-ROM.
Okay.
is the competing one. It's from some. The website is 3do-renovation.ru, and you. I mean, there's like 50% chance it's a credential harvesting website that's going to result in identity theft, but I don't know, worth a shot.
Oh yeah. I'm going to make some alterations here.
What alterations are you making?
Oh, you'll see when the stream catches up.
Oh, nice.
Let's see how that works.
Oh yeah, no stream would be complete without. Is that like Bob's LinkedIn picture or something?
I think that's his LinkedIn picture. Yeah, yeah, yes, exactly. Let me see if I can get that pixel to line up. That's pretty good. Okay, all right, guys.
Yeah, good enough.
So here we go. Let me know if the sound works. If we're capturing audio from the unit here, but let me pull up my screen here so I can see this. Okay, I'm going to kind of mute my mic, and you guys, you kind of take care of chat there, Nick, and provide your glorious commentary. And if there's anything that you need to do, just tell me, or anything that I need to do, let me know.
Why do you need to mute your mic?
Because I'm trying to masturbate while I play this under the table, and I don't want you to hear the sounds of what would appear to be lip smacking.
Sounds good.
I'm just kidding.
I think you can just leave the mic unmuted. It'll be fine.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
Well, I was afraid that the audio from the game would clash, but let's just see. Let's just see. We're going to go to CD-ROM, and we're going to try Mega Man.
See, I don't even know any of the library of this console. Like I told you when we were chatting, like this is just not something that was part of my growing up, so I don't know what games are even available.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, whoops, I'm screwing things up. Hold on just a second. Let me make sure.
Mega Man?
Yep, Mega Man. There we go. And I think I've got this. Yeah, okay. So let's see if we can't do Mega Man. Is the audio working?
I guess I would need to...
Now look at all the noise. I'm doing this on purpose, but you're going to see a bunch of noise in this. Oh shit. Do we have audio?
I mean, I'm listening to yeah, I mean, when I turned the stream on, I heard stuff going on.
Okay, so you can hear so the audio is working in the stream?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, people can tell you otherwise in the chat, but it seems to be okay with everybody. Are you muted now?
No, I'm just playing the game.
Yeah, okay.
God.
So what are you showing off right now?
Well, if you'll notice, we're playing Mega Man, and what I'm showing you right now is, I don't know, but can you see any sort of diagonally noises?
Nope. I can't. I mean, it could be there, and YouTube's compressing it out.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me just play. This is interfacing directly into the datapath card, and there's something very interesting, and I think it's the way. Jesus, I think it's the way that the datapath is handling sort of SD content. But let's see. Oh, I'm gonna beat you! I'm gonna beat you! Ooh! This is This is probably one of the best games ever made for the PC Engine. Certainly one of the only games worth owning. Retail.
How much do these games go for, like actual legitimate copies that aren't stolen and put on a...
Well, this game, of course, is not a legitimate game, but... Hold on, I'm just trying to look. Okay, sorry.
I'm just curious in general for, like, PC Engine games that have prices gone crazy.
Oh, Jesus. You can't... I don't know how anyone today could afford to collect for the PC Engine. I mean, you know, certain games like Rondo of Blood kind of maintain their price in the secondary market. Uh-oh, what happened? I think I died. I think it crashed.
What happened?
I think the hold on.
You think the Super CD crashed?
Yeah, I think the Super CD crashed. Hold on just a second. Make sure that's correct. That's correct. Okay, let's try this again. I wish I could keep up with the chat. Nick, tell me anything of note that's being talked about in chat. It makes me feel better.
People are saying they see some shit in the
in the blue.
In the character sprites and on the ladders, they were seeing some noise.
Now, okay, good. We're going to do something. That's exactly what I wanted them to see. Now this will take 2 seconds. We're going to put it in me. Hold on.
Yeah, Electron Ash also he called it the Super CD, as I like to spell it. No way we're making our own Super CD. No way.
Why not?
Well, Henry in the chat said that we should make one. I mean, I don't have any interest in doing the ODE type thing.
I mean, I hate to be that guy, but I think he's got a point.
I think this product is just fine, and we don't need to do anything.
I think that he has a point. Okay, hold on. Oh wait, you know what I can do?
Especially now that you've done your magic to it.
Well, what I wanted to show was there's a bunch of things that we really need to talk about. I don't even know how to address all this stuff because I'm just one man. But hold on one second. Let me just get this going. Guys, this is a test stream. Let's not take it too seriously.
Everyone loves your ass. So I think you should just keep it like this the whole rest of the stream.
Okay, let's see what we got. Right. Signal. Going into here. Oh! Whoops. Hold on. That's my fault.
Yeah, totally. Sega CD ODEs would be awesome to have, considering those things just break like crazy.
Have you considered making one, Nick?
Yeah, I've considered it.
I mean, in fairness... Well, hold on, let me hook this up, but don't you think, like, that the Sega CD is kind of, like, shitty?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work for somebody to put into for something that probably won't get that much love. But, you know, I'm surprised, like I said to you before, like, I'm surprised how many of these, I mean, obviously I don't know how many they're selling, but it seems like they're doing good business. And growing up, I didn't know anything about TurboGrafx or PC Engine, so the fact that there's a big enough following to support a company creating this is kind of surprising to me and cool. It may be true about Sega CD that there's a cult following of it that would spend a lot of money. I don't know. I would certainly buy a Sega CD ODE so that I wouldn't have to fuck around with this anymore.
I guess the question to me, I guess the question in my mind is, what would you be willing to pay
for a Sega CD?
Yeah. Right.
It's a good question. So you're talking 150, 200 bucks just for the unit if you're gonna buy one, and then you're gonna place the emulator inside of it.
Right. I don't know. I thought about that the other day. I'm like, what is fair? Hold on just 1 second here. Oh, that's what I hate about this. They do a crop. I'm sorry, guys. I have to crop this.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't be willing to pay like more than 200 bucks for one. How much does the Super CD SD3 system?
Like, you know, I really don't know. It's almost. I think it's almost $300.
Yeah, that's. Whew.
That's a lot of money, right? I mean.
Yeah. I don't think I could justify paying that. I don't play video games enough to get $300 worth of value out of it.
You only wish you could play video games.
I mean, I bought a SD2 SNES, but that was mostly so that you know, I could do testing and stuff, and if I ever needed to try something out, you know, based on a support ticket, I could quickly go check something. But I have not used my SD2 SNES a single time to actually play a video game.
Yeah, I haven't either, really. More or less for testing. At any rate, if you're looking at the stream, guys, how is the? Did I size up the video game well? I mean, on the screen.
I think it looks okay.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to hit start, and we're going to look at this. This is the OSSC parsing the video through to my data path. And we're going to look at the same stuff, and we're going to go back to Bomb Man. And all of that sort of high-frequency content that people are complaining about, I think is almost gone. And I'm just going to play some stages here, and this should be a tremendous difference. Now, this is the OSSC. This isn't like the Lane Meister. So the OSSC is a fantastic magnet for noise. But I'm just going to play some here.
Yeah, you couldn't do a fair comparison with the FrameMeister because that adds a ton of its own noise.
Adds a ton of its own noise, and it does a lot of weird sort of pull-down, low-passing effects on the video. It's not a good tool to use when you're sort of debugging video, analog video especially. But nonetheless, here we go. I'm going to the distance. And as far as I'm concerned, gentlemen, the picture that you see here, and I don't think the YouTube compression is really doing anything to it, this is amazing. I mean, I would not complain about this, me personally. The way it was before, I don't know how many of our viewers here bought a version 1 Super SD3, but yeah, the noise, that certainly merited a fix. It was horrible. But basically, all of the suggestions that I gave them, well, almost all the suggestions that I gave them to help them fix the problems with this board the first time, that's pretty much what I sort of rolled out with my own little hacks and fixes here with a couple of other little things. But the V2 should look, I don't have one in my hands yet, but I'm imagining it looks as good as this in the noise department. I hope
I thought people were still complaining about some noise issues on the V2, but isn't that what you would have addressed with the power side of things as opposed to the video circuit?
Correct. That's one component that they just didn't look at. Here's the deal. All of the other expansion, the official expansion devices, even though they used more power, the IFU, the CD add-on for the PC Engine, the CD add-on for the Turbo 16, the Turbo Graphics, they had their own power supplies, and those systems sent 5 volts out from the CD and powered the PC Engine through their own power supply. The Super SD System 3 is the opposite of that. You have this 1 amp 7805 linear regulator that's sending out power for all the different rails in the Super SD System 3. And I think when you see things like when a game is loading from CD and the SD card is actually streaming data in, the noise gets worse. When the load stops, the noise almost goes away. I think this is a supply issue just as much as anything else. I don't know, but there's a couple of good games we can test this with. Joe Redifer recommended Bonk, the green area in Bonk, and the Lords of Thunder for the PC Engine. So I thought we would load some of those up real quick in a very fun way. I don't know. What would you like to see, Nick? Would you like to see Bonk or Lords of Thunder? What would you like?
Let's do Bonk first.
Okay, we'll go to Bonk. We'll do Bonk in the butt. All right, so here's Bonk. Now this noise is going to be most prominent in the green areas, if it exists anywhere. So here we go.
You don't have a how can we do a comparison back and forth? You don't have an easy way to switch, right?
I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. What I can do. There's something I can do. I tell you what. Let's do. I'm glad you mentioned it. Let's do the Bonk. Let's do the Bonk next. But right now, let's do a good comparison. I'm going to load in a picture of a system that's not been modified. This is a Super SD System 3 that has had no alterations. Let's see what it looks like. Let me go to downloads here. Give me just a second. And we can compare that with what I have here. So 1 second. Let me get this up. Let me get it up for you. I want to get it up.
Make sure you take the little blue pill.
Yeah. All right, so I think this picture that I'm going to show here we go. Okay, the picture that I'm going to show on screen is a picture that the great Courtney of My Life in Gaming sent me. This is an unmodified, unmolested Super SD System 3 that I think he might have had paired with his TurboGrafx or his maybe his PC, maybe his Core Graphics or something like that. I don't remember. But the point is let's look at the noise. Okay, now that should be populating. Now, the best area to look is in the very bottom. You should see those diagonal lines, and even with YouTube compression, this should be very prominent. That should.
What's up with that?
I don't know, Bob. It's some things that were kind of flaky in the design. But is this coming through, Nick? Can everybody see this picture?
Yeah, I'm just seeing the picture now. So whenever you started displaying it, probably 30 seconds ago. It just caught up to
okay. Well, I want everyone to just take a few seconds here to take a really good look at this, because this is what, there's some minor noise issues that we should all be able to live with, but this is unacceptable, and this is a problem, and this is what everybody was seeing, right? So this is just sort of a baseline. Remember this when we look at the video footage that I have. But a couple of things to note. If you look at the noise, those diagonal lines it's like a ripple effect that's very prominent, and also the video is too goddamn bright. Look at the very top of the picture. Look at the header of the picture here. Look at the clouds. Look at all that video content you're losing because you're saturating the video. That's another issue. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink this down just a little bit, and I'm going to bring it down, maybe to about right here. I really just want you guys to be able to see the clouds, and I want you to be able to see the bottom. That's what's most important. So let me just stretch this out if I can. All right, like that. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up this game, and this will kind of give us a before and after. So on the right will be what we're shooting live here, and compare the two. Look at the bottom of the game we're streaming and the top, and compare that. Okay, that should be coming through.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm seeing you just putting things blown up on the screen, and now you're selecting Lords of Thunder. I don't know what your delay is, but I know there's a low latency mode on YouTube.
Okay.
That could make it more real time, but I think you'd have to restart.
Well, that's okay. That's all right. Well, that's over. That's done.
Yeah.
The point of that was just to show you guys a good comparison, right? So now you see what people were dealing with, and now you see what we've got, what we've resolved, and how much of this we've really cleaned up. So I hope that's visible, Nick, in the comparison there.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So I can't read the commentary of people in chat. What are people in chat saying?
Yeah, they can see it too.
Good.
They're just sad that Bob's gone.
Well, thank God. So now we're going to play some Bonk. That's a fun game. I just loaded Lords of Thunder for the 5th time. I'd like to play some Bonk. It's a fun game. I never really gave it much of a chance, but it's actually probably one of the best games that I've ever played, to be honest with you.
Really?
As far as a platformer for the PC Engine goes, it's probably one of the best. It's probably the best platformer, for sure. So
yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's the only PC Engine game that I even know about, so.
It's really good. Okay, so I'm just going to extend my mic out here, and I'm going to play.
And that's just because my good friend TurboCon always used Bonk for his demos and stuff. He's really into that game, I guess.
TurboCon. He likes the Bonk.
Yeah,
it's a good game. Boom. Anyway, so I just other than the video noise issues, I understand why people are kind of harping on this thing and maybe giving the creators a bit of a hard time. I don't think they've responded in the best of ways to the criticisms. Nonetheless, let's keep in mind that this thing is doing something that no other device has ever done before in its league. It's an optical freaking drive emulator, for God's sakes, for the TurboGrafx PC Engine. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I think we can help them. If we can help them, great, because this device deserves to be in the hands of many children, in my opinion.
Is there an EverDrive type device for just the
sure
cards? Oh sure,
Crix has a Q card EverDrive that okay. I have one, but it never worked right. As a matter of fact, it didn't work at all. Jason of GameTech sent that to me, but it never worked. So I really can't comment on it. But sure, there was a HuCard emulator that he put out. But the optical drive emulation is just amazing. I mean, people want to complain about piracy, and I certainly understand that. But I don't know many people who can afford to put down $120 on a copy of Rondo of Blood just to play it on their PC Engine. I mean.
Is this game a CD or a card game?
It's both. It initially came out as a card game, but later in the TurboGrafx life, I guess to kind of up the value when they were kind of in trouble not selling a lot of these, they packed in a sort of a collection of HuCard games on CD, and this is what we got. Oh, God.
So were the CD games more powerful do more graphical things.
Well, the CD module has more memory, so yes, like depending on sort of the game. Some games are designed for the System 1 card, which adds X amount of memory. Then you have a System 2 card and a System 3 card. Basically, what these cards are is they give you more RAM to work with in the CD-ROM module to work with. So, yeah, the games can really, really benefit. But unfortunately, a lot of those games, it's just like it's kind of like a lot of games for the Sega CD where they were just direct ports of Genesis titles, and they're fuck, you can't jump on those guys, and they're not there's nothing special or significant about them to where you would to where you would want to own them on the PC Engine. Oh, I'm gonna get you, Daddy. Oh, Daddy. Oh no. Oh.
You all right?
Yep, I'm doing well. How's everyone in chat doing?
They're doing great.
So I mean,
Beef Curtain 69 says color looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, he's referring to your color, your complexion.
Oh,
not
thank
the
you.
game.
Well, I try to look good for the kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead. But I don't know. I have continues. I think that this is a lot of fun. I mean, this is a lot of fun. I think that anybody who's in the market for a PC Engine system, I think it would be a wise investment to look into the Super SD System 3 and to pair this device with a $50 or $60, PC Engine. As far as the bang for the buck goes, it's a phenomenal value when you look at what the secondary market is like for the PC Engine games. I mean, by the time you buy a couple of popular titles, you would have paid for the system and the Super SD.
Sure. I mean, to me, I guess the bigger draw to it is not saving you money, because I mean, I don't know if I could really use that as like a justification for the piracy aspect, but the fact that the drives are dying and discs rot, that is to me like the bigger sell for this, right? Like,
right.
All these things are a giant pain in the ass to maintain and keep working, and in another 30 years probably none of that shit's gonna work.
Right.
And people are just gonna start throwing stuff out if they don't have a way to use it. So
I understand sort of the plight of the anti-pirates, but the way I look at games like this, I don't know where the publisher is for this. I don't know if there's been a released compilation of Bonk games that are accessible to anybody in sort of the modern era, but these games are on that secondary market. The publishers and developers, they've made their money on it. I'm not saying it's right to go download a bunch of games, but we're talking about 25, 30-year-old titles here, and I certainly don't lose any sleep at night if I'm going to play Bonk's Adventure 2 on my 1986 PC Engine unit.
No, yeah, I'm not saying you should lose any sleep.
Yes, you are. You're judging me. You're judging me.
That's the opposite of my point. My point is just that the price of games doesn't really justify things to me. It's more the fact of the preservation of this stuff is. I think you can make a compelling argument that that it's good, a net good.
I think you've got a point. Ooh, God, that looks terrible. I think that but where is that arbitrary line, Nick, between game preservation and game non-preservation? I mean, I think a lot of people use that line as sort of a
it's
vector.
Totally arbitrary, right? Like, yeah, I agree. Obviously, there are some titles that are like Mega Man that are just going to be released on every system ever. It's always some kind of anniversary for Mega Man. One thing I've learned. There's nothing wrong with that, but not every game gets that treatment, so make up your own mind on the morality, I guess.
I don't know. All I'm going to say is if you could listen to this soundtrack, it's fucking awesome, and this is a great shmup. So, Nick, I know you love shmups, so maybe we should take a look at Lords of Thunder in a serious way. Enjoy the soundtrack, and let's see some shmups gameplay. Now, the PC Engine is a shmup powerhouse, Lord Jesus. And by the way, this is what happens when you oversaturate your video. Just look at this shit. Who wants to look at that? Who wants to look at that, people? Okay? That's not good for anybody. Let's play. Let's enjoy it. Here we go.
What are you doing with oversaturating?
I'm hitting the brightness switch on these rectal cables.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so listen, I've got to mute it because I got to really concentrate, but you guys just fucking rock on, okay? Rock on. I can't listen to Nick's bullshit and concentrate. This game's amazing. Here we go.
So you're muting me or you're muting yourself?
God damn it, Nick! I'm muting you. I'm muting myself.
Okay.
Continue
so
engaging with the chat.
Anymore.
I'm gonna win. God damn it! I'm gonna win.
Oh, this game's not that hard.
How would you know? You've never played it.
I've been watching you play like through the 18 different videos you sent over Skype. Hey, can you check out this minor difference in video quality? Game's really lagged, or oh, that's just you pausing it when you were talking to me. Gotcha. I see what's going on there. All right, what's up, chat? What are you guys doing? What should I talk about to myself since Voultar doesn't want to be on mic?
Don't care to be on mic, for God's sake. Let me try to be a winner for once.
You'll never be a winner. Yeah, you should think about doing like Twitch streaming full time. The chat really loves it when you just play the game and sit there silent.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do when you Twitch stream?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Let's see, did I make any money? What can I buy? I want a mystical orb, I want that, I want that. I don't know anything about this game. I just know that the soundtrack is like, oh my Jesus. Well, I think I've upgraded my whereas here.
I just played, what's the name? I have like 3 shmups that I bought for PS4. But the one I just played, whatever the title of it was, also had like that melee attack that you could do instead of shooting.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that first in Gunstar Heroes. If you would get close to them, if you get close to the enemy, you would slash them with a knife, or maybe you would throw them. I can't remember. It's been 30 years ago.
Daniel Black asked if I own Lightning Force. I actually just own that as of like last week. I don't remember who it was. It might have been you that told me about it on Twitter.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it looked really cool.
Remember that?
So I picked up a copy. No, I don't think it was you that told me.
No, I mean I think I remember that exchange on Twitter.
Yeah.
Jesus. If I let these drop down, I might be able to pick up their goodies. Oh fuck, it's this guy.
I've not played too many shmoops on the Genesis just because they tend to be really expensive.
Yeah, that's why you need to get a flash card, you see.
Yeah, I don't have a Genesis flash card. I should buy one. But...
I bought one off AliExpress for about $25. Works great. Highly recommend you go there to get one. It's called the EverDrive Chinese version. That's literally what it's called. Works fantastic.
Lights on fire.
Yep. You bet. You bet. I don't know, but this this is a really good game. I recommend it to anybody. It's fun. It's full of fun times. I'm a big shmups lover though. Sync for some reason. I love shmups. I don't know if you're Nick. I think you're a pretty big shmups fan.
I am. I like shmups that are like this, as opposed to like the bullet hell type things where it's all about, you know, micro movements. I mean, I like those games. I just like Ikaruga. I suck at Ikaruga. I'm terrible.
Anyone who's a big, I think that's really where the sort of the install base is for the PC Engine. The shmups are unbelievable. I'm gonna play the Gradius port because I think it's just as good as the arcade. Speaking of which, how is the quality? Is the video quality looking pretty good as far as bitrate and everything like that's concerned, Nick?
Yeah, no, it seems to be perfect.
Okay, good. Okay, here we go. I don't know if you guys ever played this classic or not, but it's probably one of the best games ever made.
240p suite?
Yes, a 240p suite. You'll see me. I gotta fix the latency thing in this, but Gradius is just an amazing, amazing game. Way ahead of its time. Pretty much the trailblazer of all shmups, in my opinion. That might meet some resistance, but it's my opinion. And you gotta keep in mind when I'm playing this, I'm playing on a capture card, and I don't. Fuck! God, I can't play it. There's too much delay.
Yeah, you can't go off the captured screen.
But that's what I'm doing. That's how you know I'm a real man.
Yeah, the few times that I've streamed stuff with our cables, I've done it off the card like that, and there's very few games you can get away doing that.
If we were playing an RPG, it'd be fine.
Yeah, I was playing Streets of Rage pretty okay with the delay. Yeah, I mean, but that's a game you know, like chapter and verse, though, right? Right.
I mean, that's like, you know, to me that's like the Bible. I know that like without even thinking about it.
Is it Gradius or Gradius?
I don't know. It's like Gaiden or Gaiden. I think it's Gradius.
I don't know the answer to that question either.
Yes, I think I'm gonna do okay. I need a missile though. Oh motherfucker, man!
Jeez, this is a kid-friendly stream, dude.
Oh, sorry. No, it's not. But at any rate, I mean, this... You know, when I was messing with the Super SD and doing all this stuff, I have a really bad SCART cable, and the noise is just awful. I'm dying. And this is just another reason why I'm going to go, within the next 3 or 4 months, I'm going to go full component. I want to do HD rectal vision on everything, including systems that aren't officially supported, like this Super SD3. The results are phenomenal. I mean, the component stuff is just, it's the way to go in my opinion. Today, if you're just now building a setup, like I'm redoing my entire setup, right? I'm going to omit as much of the SCART stuff as I can, and I'm going to adopt as much of component as I can. It's just so much nicer.
I'm very curious if this power swap thing that you did would work on the V2, because some people with the V2 were saying that they were getting worse noise using the component cables than Shart. Which I don't know the reason for that, but we also don't have the time. Well, we don't have a Super CD for one, and we don't have the time to look at it anyway.
Well, I think what happens is I think I totally think it's a starved power. I think it's a supply issue. The more of the load, did I freeze? Oh my fucking god, I was doing so good. I don't know what happened. But the more of a load you put on this thing, I think the worse performance gets. And I think that...
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, since we are hitting the 5-volt line and the Shart cable isn't.
Right, exactly. Well, the Shart cable it passes that 5-volt rail through, but it's not putting any kind of load. Or it's not putting an additional load onto that rail, so
Yeah.
It's strictly passive. But I think that, and did I even explain that, Nick, what I've done?
Nope, you haven't yet.
Well, maybe that's important to add some context. So, I've been digging
I think you should start from
the beginning.
Yeah, everything you've done to that V1 board.
Okay, so
to this point.
If you guys have kind of looked around and you've kind of heard me talk, if I'm back here, Nick, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, it's a little echoey, but I can hear you fine.
Okay, let me. Okay, is that pretty good right there? I'm just trying to get comfortable.
Yeah, it's fine.
Suck my dick. Okay, so anyways, I've been playing with the Super SD System 3 Rev 1 for a few days, for 2 days. Now, as most of you know, the Rev 1 of this thing had a lot of problems, and they kind of reached out to me for help after, I guess I made some posts in a forum over at Schmoops, and one of the main problems with the version 1 was that they didn't isolate the digital and analog grounds, and that was the culprit for, I hate this part, for a lot of that noise. Nonetheless, I did finally open this version 1. I've had it here for a couple of months, and I got to messing with it, and I took all of the onboard video circuitry that was on here off. I worked everything off of the board, and I used my IFU RGB board that I've designed specifically for the briefcase unit, the CD-ROM add-on module for the Japanese PC Engine. I sort of retroed that on here, and my God, just about everything went away. But there was still something lingering. I can't believe that just happened, motherfucker. When you would pair rectal cables with the Super SD System 3, there would be this lingering sort of diagonal interference. And what I did was, I got some plots of the power rail, and I noticed some interesting stuff. So I decided to remove the 1 amp 7805 regulator in place of a 1.5 amp 7805 regulator. Now, the first question you need to really ask yourself is, well, Jesus Christ, I mean, this is not 1970s technology. Does the FPGA and all that stuff really have put that much of a load on it? No, the FPGA really doesn't put that much of a load on it most of the time. But if you get your scope out and you examine this stuff, there's some transient stuff happening where there's some really fast current drawing phenomena that's happening. And I think what's happening is that when the FPGA is exercising certain CD functions, it's almost bouncing off of the top of that 7805, because there's a 1 amp. It's in all of these systems, it's the regulator is rated for 1 amp. I took the 1 amp out and I added a 1.5 amp, and when I did that, even more of the noise appears to have gone away. I'm not saying it's fully gone, but there has been a measurable improvement. Now, ideally, when they designed this SD3, they should have done a better job on the power section. The SD3 should be the apparatus that's delivering the 5-volt rail to the console. The console's 5-volt rail, that Wimpy 7805, should not be, in my opinion, delivering power for the other rails for the SD3. That's another huge culprit as to why I think we're having trouble in the digital spectrum, or in the digital space. Replace the regulator with a 1.5 amp. It worked for me in this noisy TurboGrafx 16 on top of all the other fixes that I did. Like I said, I removed the onboard video circuitry. I installed something that I designed a long time ago on there. And not only that, the amplitude of the video, I was talking about brightness earlier, and there's some YouTube videos I put up on Twitter if you want to look at those, where I'm alternating between brightness settings. And the way that circuit is designed on the version 1, and I'm pretty sure on the version 2 too, the amplitude's not being correctly shaped. And when you jam a Sega Genesis Model 2 cable in here, even if it's got the resistors in it, the video is just too bright. and you're losing a lot of video content with brighter scenes and brighter images. So that's another thing that I hope that they can fix and they address. I talked to them pretty extensively over this. They took some of my suggestions, but not all of them. And I think that if they're sending me a version 2, I'm going to send them the data. They can fix almost 90% of these problems. If I can do it in my laboratory with just a couple of tools, there's no reason why they can't address this stuff and get it fixed. I think they'll be just fine. But for now, version 1 owners, I might have some solutions for you that I'm going to release. I know I've talked about this in detail, or in somewhat detail, but I want to show you guys something cool, something beautiful. I think that it's going to be a help to people. And this is primarily for, I'm pretty sure, the version 1 main board. This is the Fuck You RGB apparatus. And this is going to be primarily for, I don't know if that's coming off there or not, but this is going to tackle about 80% of the issues with the version 1 board. Can't say anything about the V2 board because I don't have that yet. Notice that in the top left-hand section of this PCB, there is a V2 jumper, so this will work in a V2. Nonetheless, I think this might help people. I'm not going to go into super detail about it until I have some more data, but this is going to appropriately drive your composite sync, all of your RGB lines, and most importantly, composite video, and you can still use a standard Sega Genesis cable. Nothing changes. So that's that. At any rate.
Sweet.
There you go. So let's get back to the gaming. I hope I explained that fairly well.
I love the color on that board.
The white?
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, I like the white too.
White and gold, yeah, looks sweet.
I thought that would be interesting. I've not done a white board in quite a while, so I love all colors. I can't believe I just evaded that with no option or missiles. So Nick, tell me what's going on in chat. What are people saying?
I don't know. I haven't really been reading it.
Nick, you're a great wingman. I appreciate you coming.
There was speculation as to whether I have huge sweat stains because my shirt gets darker under the armpit.
I thought that too. I'm like, Jesus, Nick.
It's got these like stripes, which is ironically enough, like a breathable material to prevent you from having sweat stains. So important stuff. Let's see. Is anything interesting to report on? Crazy Manzor asked, did I understand that right? You replaced the 7805 regulator in the PC engine?
Yeah, I replaced the linear regulator in the console. So in your TurboGrafx 16, in your Core Graphics, in your Super Graphics, I just simply swapped the 1 amp out with a 1.5 amp. And real quick, I want to talk about this too. There are some things that the SD is responsible for in terms of shitty video quality, and there are some things that it isn't responsible for. These systems are noisy, and unless you do things like the gel bar fix and you're using an appropriate power supply, you can't blame the System SD3 for poor video performance because it's just... Oh shit, can I make it? It's not the system's fault. I fucked that up. A lot of these systems that are sold secondhand on eBay, they're sold with really shitty switching supplies that have no... Oh god, I hate to see... Fuck! They're sold with really shitty switching supplies that are very poor performers and very noisy. And I'm seeing a lot of people comment, and they're like, the system sucks, the System SD3 sucks, the picture sucks. No, the system doesn't suck. Your system's got some shitty gel bars. You need to do the gel bar fix with some capacitors, and you're using a 600 millivolt or 600 milliamp fucking auto switching power supply from AliExpress. It's no wonder you're getting noise, and there's no wonder you're having trouble. So,
yeah, no.
Criticisms are appropriate.
Few crimes have been committed against retro consoles as badly as like the shitty third-party power supply stuff.
Correct.
Like I bet a ton of people think their console is going to shit incorrectly because they're using, like, especially with Sega Genesis and all those things that, you know, you can buy a hollow shitty AC adapter with 3 plugs on it. Like, those things are just total garbage. Aside from being fire hazards, they're just like going to make your stuff look like shit.
Oh sure, absolutely.
And they get, and these like retro game stores, you go there and you buy a Genesis there, they'll throw that crap in, you know, with the bundle.
Right.
And they're doing people just a horrible disservice.
100% accurate, 100% true. And it's unfortunate, though, because, you know, like I said, there are some things that the Super SD3 is responsible for in terms of the video quality, and there's a lot of things, guys, guess what, that it's not responsible for. So I think a lot of people are raising pitchforks against a problem that's not even really necessarily caused by the system here. And that's just a matter of education, in my opinion. Total matter of education here. So, I'm doing good. But, you know, the good news is there is hope. This can be fixed. This can be handled in a very fun way. Oh man, what the hell? I don't remember this. I'm getting owned here. No, I'm not. I'm actually doing really good. But I love it, and you know, a lot of people nitpick over video, and I kind of am. I'm kind of one of those guys too. But what you see in the stream is just how good this looks. The compression's really not doing much of anything in terms of sort of muddying up the video. I'm totally satisfied with this. I mean, there might be some subtle console noise, or maybe just a little bit of some how the fuck did I die?
Because you're not good.
No, it's because I want to set up a whole, I want to set up a streaming corner where I have all of this stuff sort of situated correctly. I've lost sync for some reason. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, I need to really polish out sort of the setup. At any rate, so, you know, there you have it. I mean, I can play some more if you guys want to see me, you know, really dominate. I mean, I got some other games here. I mean, what do you want to do, Nick?
I don't really care.
Do you want to see me play Dracula X?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, here's Dracula. I played this a little bit the other night.
Old Uncle Carbuncle asked if you used a 78 SO5.
Sure, that would be fine. I used,
Yep.
What did I use? Yeah. Use a 78 SO5. That's fine. I used an L7805 CV, which is rated for 1.5 amps. But an S805 is perfectly fine.
So Sharudo Paulson said that he's using the Mega Trio. Is the Mega Trio... That's not the one from the guy in Israel, is it?
The Mega Trio is the one where the adapter kind of changed from time to time. Like, do you remember? Like, it was the power adapter that was being used, if I remember correctly.
I didn't think that was the name of it.
The Sega Trio? Pretty sure that was. The adapter that you'd want to use, ideally, if you go to hdrectalvision.com, well, Nick can direct you, but that's the power adapter that I use. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's at our hdretrovision.com/vote third party, where we recommend there's a good power supply. You just need the right pigtail for your setup. It's really hard to find good power supplies. Steve put in a shitload of time and effort to measuring all sorts of pieces of junk. It took forever to find a good one. And yeah, it's Mega Trio. I cannot find the Mega Trio. Retro game case. trying to find this trio thingy.
Man, I'm getting my fucking ass handed to me.
We did used to recommend that 3. I guess it was called the trio something. It was built by some guy in Israel. He like basically sourced all the parts together, and he used to be using a good quality supply, and then I guess something changed somewhere in the production line, as you mentioned, and we had to stop recommending it.
Yeah, I might be getting the vendors here mixed up, but that was the case for one of them. Oh, motherfucker! This is a great game, Nick. Have you ever played this?
I've not.
Oh my god, Nick.
My brother is really into Castlevania games. Okay, I found it. The one that I'm talking about is called the Retro DC Powered.
Okay, no, that's the Dreamcast thing, isn't it?
No, this is... this can be used on a bunch of stuff. So you could use the Genesis CD and the 32X all in once, and then it also had... I think it came with, or comes with, like little pigtails for other systems. Yeah, it's got like a breakout thing if you want to use it on other systems. But yeah, that's the thing where the supply he's using isn't UL listed, so the guts can change, and you never know what you're getting if the thing isn't UL listed.
That's right.
I'm sure he was having the same, problems that we were having trying to find the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough, boys. It's really... Let's see, man. Nope.
But he's got a new batch coming up this month for pre-order, it looks like. And maybe this time it'll be a good quality supply on there. I don't know. You never know.
You never know. It's true. Now the trick here, I know there's going to be a bit of a delay, but the trick with the Medusa heads has always been to never ever jump. Never jump. You don't have to jump. Just walk backwards if you have to. But so you don't have to jump. I don't remember this. Oh, fuck, I remember now. Ooh! Fucking this guy up, man. Oh, shit.
Watching Bit Brigade when they play Castlevania for NES Live, it's one of the most awesome things. Guy just rips through the game in like 10 minutes. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Are you serious?
It's so quick. Yeah, he doesn't stop walking at any point. I mean, ton of fun to watch those guys.
Oh, I got the axe. That's what I want.
And I think they're going on tour again soon. Let's see. I think I saw them announce that they're going on tour again. So if you haven't seen them, you totally should. Yeah, they're starting up a tour this week. North Carolina, Virginia, Baltimore. I'll probably go to that show.
Wasn't
Kingston, New York,
is that the group you
Rochester,
asked me to? Was that the guy that you hooked up with me so I could do a high def NES for him or something?
Yeah, did you do that for them?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, they I don't know what their setup is currently but yeah, they were in need of, they always want to have like something for backup, in case something goes wrong on when they're playing. So for anyone who doesn't know, Bit Brigade basically is a guy that speed runs a game and the band plays the music along with it.
Right.
And it's awesome because he just dominates these games. It's incredible to watch. and it adds this like element of stress to the concert because, you know, stuff like Ninja Gaiden, whatever you want to call it. He's making those like really hard time jumps, and you're constantly worried he's gonna miss one and it's gonna goof up, you know, the band, but he never seems to.
Oh my god! I'm getting
this tour is long. Jesus.
I'm getting destroyed.
Ton of cities in New York, then they're going to Kentucky, Newport, Kentucky.
Oh, they're going to be in Corey's territory.
Chicago, Minneapolis, Wisconsin, Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, that's about an hour away.
Louisville, Kentucky. A couple dates in Pennsylvania, then Beckett in Baltimore.
Yeah, they contacted me and wanted me to do I think it's the reason they wanted that was so they could play it in high quality or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, while they're doing that, I really don't. I mean, they're great, but I don't really follow them. So that's what they do. Though they cover the music, and they also that dude streams it, right? He like runs through the games.
Yeah, so they project it up onto a screen, and then, you know, they've also traditionally had it hooked up to a CRT in front of them, and I think they were looking for ways to make things better without, you know, because he can't deal with any lag. Like that would ruin the everything. So I don't know. I'm gonna probably go. Let's see, the Baltimore show is. Where the hell did it go? April 12th. Oh, that's this week. And I'll probably go this week, and then I'll talk to them and ask them if they're using Voultar's handiwork.
There you go. Voultar. This is an alternate path. I fell down this thing, and it brought me here. The game is so good. You know, there's a lot of those games that everyone's like, oh, it's so good. This is really one of those games that are just amazing.
Is this your favorite of the
Castlevania? No, I don't know, man.
And don't count like the Metroid style games.
I mean, that's what I was going to say, but I love Castlevania 3 for the NES. I watched Steve blast through that while he was over for the weekend, and I like Super Castlevania. I love Symphony of. I don't really. It's hard for me, man, to come up with a favorite.
Ordering? Yeah, no, I hear you.
I don't think I can. I think I'm at a boss though. I'll take the cross. No, I want the holy water. Fuck that. Give me the holy water. Is there a double in here? Oh! That's a big fucking piece of beef.
Sacks of meat.
I think... No. Couldn't have been. Couldn't have been. Oh shit, it's Bob.
Yeah. Okay.
Bob is fucking mad.
Gotcha.
We'll cheese the shit out of this guy. I think I can still do that. Let's see if I can still.
Did Bob die? Yep.
He did.
He's dead.
And we blame HD Retrovision for his death, of course. Now this is how you cheese the shit out of this guy. Oh my god! I almost beat him. Keep in mind, guys, I am playing with a fucking super delay.
I thought Bob was murdered by that German nationalist crew that had their fill of him being such a Darksoft fanboy.
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know, but I'm looking at the stream. The quality here looks really good.
Yeah, every once in a while it cuts out. Like,
it does for me too.
video.
I think it's because I have the low pass filter or something set on the fucking.
OSSC.
Yeah, and I don't know what. What am I doing? I don't know what that does for. Oh, this is cheap.
Sometimes you just need to learn how to live differently.
It's my favorite Bob line.
What's that?
Sometimes you just need to learn how to live differently.
I'm gonna put
Oh! Fucking A. That was good. Oh shit. Oh god. Nope. Oh my god, that was so close.
Bullshit.
Shut up, Bob. Jesus.
It's getting a little grumpy.
Just right. Nope. I fucked up.
AW Zimmer asked if I want more Bob sound bites for the soundboard. I don't think you should spend any more time on it. It's pretty awesome as it is.
Copy that soundboard, please, Nick.
Yeah, I'll shoot you the link.
It's important, you know, for the kids. But no, someone asked me if I knew if Bob was really ever going to come back, and to be honest with you guys, I don't know. I don't think any of us really know what Bob's going to do. I think he got pretty, well, he was just pretty upset over a lot of things, and, you know, I think he just kind of got burned out, sure. You know? I mean, if you spend all that time doing all that fucking useless research that nobody cares about, you'd get pretty burned out too when you found out that nobody cared, you know? That's just the way I see it. I hate this stage.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't quit back then, he certainly would have quit once he saw you surpass him in YouTube subscribers.
Yeah, I mean, that's gotta hurt, you know?
Yeah, that really stings.
I mean, that would hurt me. I mean, if I wasted all that time doing something stupid like him, I mean, that would be hurt.
It's terrible.
Well, you know.
Bob's fatal flaw was moving to New York City.
Yeah, that's when it all kind of went downhill, and we, you know.
That city's no good for anybody.
Right. Ooh, I got you 3. I can't get down there. I can't jump up there either, can I? Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Joey Stitch makes a good point. If he had to deal with the forum cancer to do what Bob did, he wouldn't be able to do it.
Oh, of course, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's the worst part of the job, is like he's going out there and reading through that bullshit and distilling it down for you. And it's awesome for all of us, because then we don't have to waste our time.
Right. Right. I mean, the forums, you know, are one thing. I used to enjoy them, but when you don't police your forum in your community, I mean, if your community needs policing, that's a problem in itself. But I mean, ideally.
Oh, what happens when the police are the problem?
Right.
Like a certain forum.
Right. I mean, it's no fun. I mean, this isn't fucking. Is this high school or what? I mean, what are we doing here? Ooh, this thing's fucking tough. You know what else is tough? My cock. Oh, I'm sorry, this is rated PG.
Yep.
But no, Nick, you should really give this a shot. And what I didn't know, Steve told me when he was over like a year ago, this was released on the Virtual Console, the whole unadulterated game. And I'm like, that just amazed me, because I was thinking,
Wii?
Yeah, on the Wii Virtual Console. I'm like,
well, you can't get anything on the Virtual Console anymore.
Well, not anymore, but I'm like, this is a huge game. The Wii only has like 512 megs of internal memory. This game had to eat all of that. Oh, fucking hell. Here we go with this shit. What the fucking bull, butter, penis? Fucking goddamn it. One of these days, Bob will be so upset he'll burst through Voultar's lab door and drop all of his broken... No, he's already done that, dude. Bob's already sent all of his broken shit to me. A more reasonably believable thing is Bob will get so upset he'll come over here and bust down the door to my lab and drop his drawers and ask me to service him. That's more plausible than anything at this point.
That's more Bob's style.
Yeah, that's sort of his MO anyways. But you didn't hear that from me. God damn it. Fucking. Oh, we're almost done here, Nick. If I can't beat this, then we can quit. I mean, this was just a test stream.
Yeah, after all. So I think we're going to do another roundtable test stream soon.
Yeah, do we have that scheduled on the books?
Nope. When did we do the last one?
I don't know. Not long
March
ago.
27th. Yeah, I guess we should probably do one next week sometime. Maybe Tuesday.
We might have some special guests.
Oh, do we have special guests coming?
No. Absolutely not. Ooh, this is always a chore. Oh, fuck! Sorry. This is almost over. No, I don't think we have any special guests. I don't think we want any special guests, do we?
No, but the people like are tired of hearing it from us. Everybody just wants Kevin to come on. I'll shut up already. There's no way that Kevin will want to come on. No way.
Yes, there is.
I would question his integrity if he came on.
Kevin is the nicest guy.
Do you think he would even be able to talk about anything really now that he?
I don't know. I mean, all those
confused.
NDAs.
I don't know. Yeah. Is he an employee of Analog, or is he just contract work?
I think he's just a 1099er. I mean, I don't know. I don't assume to know anything.
Yeah. Well, either way, he's got NDAs.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever he is.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, of course. Oh, fuck! I hate these guys. Fuck. Okay, that's it. I'm done. At any rate, guys,
right.
I'm glad everyone came out. Hope everything was well. Looked okay. Sorry for sort of the unpolishedness of this. I just decided to do this about a couple of hours ago and really threw it together. Nick agreed to sort of co-host, and I think it went okay.
Yeah, I said, hey, I have absolutely nothing else that I could be doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's either this or do something worthless like, what Bob did for so many years. I mean, we had to choose our battles here, so.
Oh, Bob's never going to talk to us again.
Oh, poor Bob. But, we want him back just as bad as you guys do. Not really. But we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll come on, for a few seconds in 3 or 4 months. I don't expect to ever see him again, though. Alive. But nonetheless.
Oh, somebody asked if you ever heard the audio buzz on CD games.
Well,
that may be a V2 thing, right? Or
no, I mean, the last test stream that we did where we went through the Super SD, yeah, a lot of people were commenting on the noise. You would hear like some zzz, beep, beep during loading of CD like data. But I believe that the Terra Onia guys think that that's something they can fix in firmware.
Yeah, all right.
So that's cool. I don't know, but, it's a fucking V1. Video looks fantastic now. I'm not going to bitch about it. I have a design. I think that'll help a lot of people. More info on that soon. That's it, guys. I mean, we're having kind of like a lazy Saturday here.
Alrighty, man.
Yeah.
I will, guess we'll catch everybody later.
I'll hang around in the chat for a couple minutes to talk a little bit because I've not been available to speak, obviously, to look at the chat. But nonetheless, it was fun. We'll be doing more test streams in the future. Should we go ahead and maybe take like a minute, Nick, to talk about what we've thought about doing once or twice a month?
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about possibly adding like a hanging out and one of us playing games type thing. Maybe more formal than a test stream, but not too formal.
Right.
we're just we sit around and chat and play games and stream it. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, like the idea is to like we all like maybe Renee and Bob really don't like to play games or newer games, but me and Nick and Steve, we every chance we can, we love playing Battlefield 2142. Well, not anymore. Killing Floor, things like that. So we thought about taking sort of that and maybe all three of us collectively coming together to do like fun streams where we play games and just bullshit around and be goofy men. So that might be something to look forward to here in the not so distant future. But at any rate, that's all I've got. I'll hang around and chat a little bit to talk. But thanks, guys, for coming out and being a part of it, Nick included.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. Catch you later.
We'll see you later, guys.